If you're a TA and hold office hours, you might want to watch this video. I'll be explaining how to use a service called youcanbook.me to set up an online calendar for scheduling your office hours. Go to youcanbook.me, create a new account, and when you're logged into your Gmail account, assuming you have one, click on Grant Access. So You Can Book Me has access to your Gmail calendar. The first part of setup after you've done that is to just create a name. And type in what you want your URL to be. Next, you'll set up what hours you'll have available. So, for example, if I have a 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. time for office hours, I will specify that here. And maybe I'd like my students to be able to book at 15-minute intervals. Next, I'm going to choose a layout for my calendar. There's a number of them to choose from. I'll just choose this one for now. And then we'll dive into our advanced settings to further customize our calendar. So the first thing we want to do is actually link it up with our Google Calendar. So let's click over to our calendar, create a new calendar just for this purpose. We'll call this office hours. And it'll appear here shortly. Then if we go back to this page and reload, you can see You Can Book Me has picked up that change. We'll specify the office hours calendar as the one that we want to link up to. So all the bookings made will be automatically entered into that calendar. I will click in the upper right hand corner to save. And to specify our times, let's say we have this time available on Mondays or maybe Mondays and Fridays. We could specify maximum booking time of 60 minutes, so no one student can book us for more than 60 minutes. We'll save. Under the advanced settings, we'll specify a minimum notice of 1 hour. And we don't need to allow anyone to book us in advance of 25 weeks or the length of a semester. We'll use a simple human test, which I'll explain in a minute. And the rest of this should be fine. So now the booking form itself is something that we can customize. Our students will log on to youcanbook.me, to our site, or our page in particular, and they'll encounter a booking form where they can enter what time they'd like to book and for how long, specify their email and other things. So we can move these fields around. We can add additional fields. For example, we might want their name. We might also want maybe what class, if we TA multiple classes. what class they're in, just so we know who to expect. Once again, we can rearrange these around. So we can change the labels here. We can also choose whether or not we want these to be required fields. If it doesn't come required, you can change the type to something and then back to a simple one-line question, and that required field possibility will reappear. In addition to having, simple textual input, we can also create a multiple choice option through a drop-down box or another type. And have our students specify through that control, which class they're a part of, for example. So a number of these are only available, these additional options are only available to premium customers, paid customers who pay, but this is free. So a number of these features aren't available to us. Right here, we're indicating what message we want to pop on the screen after our student has successfully completed a booking. So we might tell them to find us in McGuire Hall. Just remind them. Now we might allow for cancellations. They'll get an email after their booking, and we'll give them a link to edit or cancel their appointment if they need to. But we might restrict that such that they can only cancel an appointment up to 1 hour before the start of the appointment. Otherwise, we don't want them to cancel it online. We want them to, maybe give me a call. So if they attempt this, they'll get this error message. And then to further customize the calendar that they see, we can add a header and footer, just more text. And those support, some basic HTML codes, such as line breaks and centering and things like that. So here we'll indicate that we don't take walk-in appointments, that please book in advance of coming. So if no one books in advance, we don't even have to show up to office hours, which is always a nice thing. You can add a footer, change the formatting of the header and footer a little bit. We've centered this, just make it a more aesthetically pleasing. Now there's a couple of things that we'll want to change. The title, want to make that more legible. Well, I'll also notice currently that the week starts on a Monday and ends on a Sunday, and we don't necessarily want that. That's something that we'll want to change. So So under the times, we can change when the calendar starts. Make it start on a Sunday like a normal calendar. Now we see it starts on a Sunday, ends on a Saturday. So now if we copy this link and turn our form online, we can go check it out. So we'll log out of the You Can Book Me site. I'll log out of my calendar and my email just to be sure, and we'll go to the You Can Book Me site. So this is what our students will see. All the future appointment times that are available. So again, we're available on Mondays and Fridays from 9 to 11. They can click on a particular time that they want to create a booking, type in their name and email. They'll select which class and how long they want that appointment to be. You can type in a description indicating what they want help with, and then they just have to pass this human check, make sure that no internet robots are making appointments on your calendar. They get this booking confirmation, and something has been sent to their designated email address as well. So let's check out what comes to our email address. We'll get an email to our Google account that indicates, who booked us and all the fields that they filled out, what class it's for, the description. If we click on the calendar link, we can see that appointment that they booked online has also now appeared in our calendar. If we click on edit event or just click on the event, we can see more details, and again, some of the details that they entered are placed in the description. So another interesting thing about this is that this is a bi-directional thing. So whatever appears on our calendar will also appear on the schedule, and vice versa. So imagine that we're out of office one day from 9 to 10. Well, we can create a booking there so that none of our students can book us for that time. So now if we go back and look at our site, our You Can Book Me calendar, you could see that the time from 9 to 10 is blocked out because we have another appointment that we've scheduled over that time. If we go back into the calendar and then remove that, likewise, if we refresh this page, you can see that time becomes available again. So now you know how to create an online booking form for your office hours that connects with your Google Calendar. I hope this video was helpful.